This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight joined today by the one and only Barry Jones. Barry, how to say, I didn't think I'd see you here today. What brought you here?
Work, Fred. What brought you here? The same thing, isn't it, pretty much? Are you still called Fred? Fighting with Fred, or?
Fred Talks Fighting.
This is Fred Talks Entertainment now, isn't it? That's your new thing now, isn't it?
That doesn't have a good ring to it though, Fred Talks Entertainment though.
Fred Talks, you should just go Fred Talks. But you cover a whole new range of stuff now, don't you? YouTubers and rappers and singers.
You got it into everyone, I guess, because I don't think if you made to boxing, it's a little bit niche. But you can make a lot more contacts, talking to a lot more different people, I feel.
Yeah, of course, yeah, you do. It's a small community, isn't it? Boxing, pretty much.
Yeah. It certainly is. A lot of people have said to me, Fred, you should change to Fred Talks, but so many people now know me as Fred Talks Fighting. I can't really change it now.
Yeah, stick to what you know, mate, don't stick to your strengths.
Will do. So Barry, let's talk about, we'll start with the fight just behind you here, Kubrat Pulev. How do you see him getting on with Derek Chisora on Saturday night?
I think you have to make him a favourite. I think, more than just that he won the first fight. I think they're both old, long in the tooth, I would have thought, but the wear and tear is more evident on Chisora, I feel, than it is on Kubrat Pulev. And when you've got fighters at this stage of their career, you tend to think the one with the better boxing brain will probably be able to adapt better and cope with the onsets of older age. So I would fancy Kubrat Pulev to stay out of trouble enough to win by a points decision.
To say Kubrat Pulev does win, will that be Derek's last fight, you think? It's hard to say.
I've sort of been covering Derek since 2011, and he's had at least 3 times when his career was finished, and he's come back and had some of his best wins. So you would tend to think this might be the end of the day, but I think the way he looks at it, as long as he can earn money, he'll keep fighting. But I tend to think if this doesn't go well for him on Saturday night, then the earning potential for the bracket that he wants to stay in that bracket, the window will be probably diminished. So I don't see where he goes. Because with Derek is just a prize fighter. He doesn't care about being a world champion. His aspirations are not that. He is a pure prize fighter. He just wants to earn the most amount of money as he can. So if he can earn big money, he won't fight. And this if he loses Saturday, that might be the end of the big money fights for him.
Like you said, you never know with Derek Chisora. And just one last thing, give me your thoughts on, I think it was trending on Twitter yesterday, about Conor Benn finding Chris Eubank Jr. Do you see that happening at all?
I think it's ludicrous that you're talking about a welterweight who's not massive for the weight, fighting a guy who boxes super middleweight, now boxing at middleweight. So unless Ben grew naturally into a super welter, and then you could maybe talk about it, but apart from that, I can't see it. No.
Awesome. Barry, thanks for the time, mate.
Take care, mate.